I still don't believe that we pulled that off. How did we pull that off? How did we do that? I don't know. Great job, newbies.
I can't believe we actually did that. We actually pulled off blindsiding Krista.
How did we do that? Trevor, come here. How did we do that? How did we pull it off? Please, how? How? How did we do it?
I'm making a guest appearance in this confessional, but yeah, isn't she great? I don't know how we did it.
From what I've heard through the grapevine, that she thought that she had me in her back pocket. Well, definitely not.
This is the Survivor Sabotage game. Here's how this is going to work. Everyone is going to start with 3 lives. You will answer trivia questions, and if you get the answer right, you will have the opportunity to take out someone else's life. Once you're out of lives, you're out of the game. One more twist here. Audrey bid on and won a challenge advantage at the Survivor auction. She has elected to use it for this challenge, so Audrey will have an extra life. It'll take 4 hits on Audrey to get her out of this game. Okay, let's get this Survivor Sabotage game underway with question 1. And I hope you were paying attention the other day because some of these facts should sound familiar. Question number 1. The saliva nests of swiftlets are most commonly used to make bird's nest soup in which country? A, China, B, Vietnam, C, South Korea, or D, Laos? Okay, the correct answer was A, China. So we've got Audrey, Jenny, Trevor, Rob, and Phil, who will be delivering the first blows of this Survivor Sabotage game. Audrey, you get the first hit. Who would you like to take out?
Julie. Sorry.
Audrey delivers the first hit of the game to Julie. Jenny, you are up.
Rob.
Jenny delivers Rob's first hit. Phil, you're up.
I'm very confused at this point in my life and game. Jenny.
Phil gives Jenny her first hit. Rob, that throws it to you.
Jenny.
Rob delivers Jenny's second hit. Trevor can put Jenny out of this competition early, or he can deliver a hit to somebody else.
I like an even playing field, Jeff. Rob.
Trevor goes for Rob. So after round 1, we stand with Julie with 1 hit, Jenny with 2, and Rob with 2. True or false? When in the water, penguins' black coloring helps them camouflage from below to both prey and predators. All right, the correct answer was false. They are camouflaged from above.
Levi, Julie, Laura, Phil, and Trevor were correct.
All right, great. Levi, you are up first. You get to deliver your first hit of the game. Who is it going to be?
I believe it'll be Jenny.
And Levi takes Jenny out of this game. All right, Jenny, there's no more hits for you to give. You can turn off your camera. You are out of this game. Laura.
Let's go Levi.
Levi has his first hit of the game. Julie, who would you like to take your next shot at?
Audrey.
Julie goes for Audrey, who up until this point didn't have a hit, and now she is at 3, where everyone else started. Phil, you're up.
Julie.
Phil goes for Julie. Julie seems dissatisfied with that. And finally, Trevor, right?
Yep.
Great.
Just to put some theories to rest, Laura.
Trevor goes for Laura, to the shock of seemingly everybody on the tribe.
Oh, someone's sleeping on the couch.
Laura, how you feeling after that?
I mean, I don't know.
Well, you'll certainly have a chance for retribution. We're on to question 3. Which of the following is believed to be the first domesticated bird? Is it A, ravens, B, ducks, C, pigeons, or D, parrots? The correct answer is C, pigeons. That's Audrey, Laura, Phil, and Trevor. Audrey, you are up first. You've got a full board to work with here.
Sorry, Julie.
And Audrey takes Julie out of the game. Julie did not get the question right. She cannot fire any shots back. And we are on to Laura.
Jeff, can you add one to my dear husband's name? Thank you.
And Laura gets back at Trevor. Phil, you're up.
Let's throw one on Audrey.
Audrey takes her second hit. Again, because of her advantage, it'll take 2 more to knock her out of this game. And Trevor, the last one goes to you.
Well, I've definitely made some enemies, but sorry about this, but Rob.
And Rob is officially eliminated from this challenge. Rob makes an exit, as we would all probably expect him to do. So now we are down to 5. We've got Levi, just a table set here. We've got Levi with 1 hit. We've got Audrey with 2. She needs 2 more to be knocked out. Laura with 1. Phil with 0. Trevor with 1. Plenty of game left. Which of the following birds is known as an honorary mammal? Is it A, penguins, B, kiwis, C, ostriches, or D, owls? The correct answer was B, kiwis. We've got Laura, Phil, and Trevor. Laura, you're up first. What do you want to do?
Oh, Phil doesn't have one on his name, so let's do Phil. Sorry, Phil.
Laura evens it out, gives Phil his first hit of the game. Phil, what would you like to do?
I reckon I'll return fire. Laura.
Phil returns the favor to Laura, gives Laura her second hit of the game. Trevor, who has been on fire this challenge, gets to go again. What will he do?
Levi, welcome back.
And now we are at Levi with 2, Audrey with 2, Laura with 2, Phil with 1, and Trevor with 1. We are on to question 5. True or false? Einstein, an African parrot at the Knoxville Zoo, can say around 200 words. I've got 3 trues and 2 falses. The correct answer is true. Einstein can say about 200 English words. That parrot is smarter than I am. Levi, you're up first.
Ooh.
Lots of interesting choices here. This is where the social game comes into play, and someone who hasn't had to play the social game gets to make a pretty important decision here.
Yeah, this one is tough. I think I'm gonna add one to Trevor and let the people in the game decide.
Levi throws a hit on Trevor, who has 2 now. Laura, you're up.
Sorry, Levi, I'm gonna take you out. I feel
Laura.
bad. Take me
Laura
out.
takes out Levi. Laura doesn't take the bait that Levi left. Levi, you are out of this challenge. Trevor, once again, getting to make his mark on this game. What will he do?
Oh boy. Let's give a third to Audrey.
Trevor gives a third to Audrey, who looks inquisitively at that decision. When ducks nap in groups, the ducks on the perimeter do which of the following? A, face outward away from the group. B, stay awake and keep watch for predators. C, sleep with one eye open. Or D, forage for food. Jumped the gun a little bit, but everyone gets it right. So now comes a pretty interesting set of decisions. You are basically deciding the winner of this game in this moment. Everyone gets it right. Everyone gets to land a hit. Audrey, you get to make the first move here.
Well, we all have one left besides Phil, so sorry, Phil.
Audrey avoids getting blood on her hands and goes for Phil. Laura, you are up next. Lots of game theory and social strategy to think about here. You are deciding 3 losers, but also a winner
I
here.
want to take my husband out.
Laura holds grudges, takes Trevor out of the game. Trevor will still be allowed to make a vote. Phil, you're up
As
next.
I go sweetly into this good night,
Phil's next.
Audrey.
Phil returns the favor, takes out Audrey. Audrey is out of this challenge. And Trevor, who was taken out of the game, but still got the answer right and has a vote to cast, can now decide who wins immunity, Laura or Phil.
well, not only do I jump the gun, but I also don't hold grudges, so Phil, still.
Trevor takes out Phil, and that is going to do it. Laura wins individual immunity. She will be safe from the next tribal vote. I got nothing else for you. Grab your torches, head back to camp. Good night.
What just happened? I guess I need to tell you what just happened, although you probably just watched. I thought we had a great plan. We were psyching out Jenny, gonna flush out her idol or take her out. And next thing you know, they read Krista, she gone.
I've missed a lot, clearly. I thought that Krista was unfairly rigging the game when I was voted out. She had pitted Lauren and I against each other very quickly, and it was contentious even for a person that I barely knew. Krista was able to orchestrate that, so I can see how it wore thin with other people.
That tribal was huge. I was scrambling back and forth minutes before tribal, and I finally felt like we secured our 4. We convinced the Bacall team that one of us had an idol, so they needed to split their votes. They split it. We stayed strong. Miracles happened, and Krista was voted out.
Literally, like, when Krista got voted out, I was like jumping for joy on the inside. Incredibly, like, joyous that we were able to pull off such a big move. And so don't underestimate the newbies.
I should save this for mine, but I'm not celebrating as much.
I'm not celebrating. I'm just.
But you're immune. You got that going for you, which is nice.
Yeah, for this round. We'll see how that plays out later. But I'm not celebrating. I am.
I'll leave the spam necklace for you.
Oh, thank you. So kind.
I wanted to burn my advantage because I knew after that flip, I could have a big target on me. So there's no reason to add another target.
The trivia turned out to be the bird facts, which you may know was featured during my Redemption Island challenge, playing dots and dashes, when I was completely and utterly focused on the dots and dashes. I don't think I heard a single bird fact. Didn't pay attention to any of it. I was at an extreme disadvantage.
Obviously, like, if Jeff was rattling all these, like, useless bird facts off, like, it's probably gonna come back and, like, play a role in the game. So, what did I do during that, like, box dot challenge? I literally was like, oh, this is moving so slow. I wanted to do my nails today, so I'm just gonna take this opportunity to give myself a mani-pedi. I don't even know if, like, paying attention would have helped because, like, clearly I was very much targeted.
We literally called Phil right after the challenge ended. You know, we got on our hands and knees and we're like, we're so sorry. Please, you can still trust us. I felt horrible, especially since earlier in the day he called me because he could tell I was, like, kind of freaking out. And he, like, calmed me down, but I guess he didn't realize that I was freaking out because of this new plan. Regardless, he was really sweet with me, and I feel bad about it.
The threesome that we had between Audrey, Laura, and I seems to be back on, including Trevor. So that'd be a core 4 to move forward with. I know Rob feels like he's bottom of the barrel with me. I know Levi is looking for allies coming back from the edge. I feel like I have 0 chance of working with Jenny at this point.
The challenge made it pretty obvious kind of where the lines are drawn. I was the first person out. Phil, Rob, and Levi all kind of gave me the axe. So, I don't know. Phil seems like a nice guy, and I really did want to work with him, but I feel like now that I've kind of, like, burned bridges with him twice, even though he lied to me too about this most recent vote, I just don't see us working together in the game. And so, you know, in terms of the next vote, would love to either get Rob or Phil out.
Hoping to work with Levi. Maybe he's feeling a little burned since he has returned from Redemption Island.
I need to very quickly ingratiate myself back into the tribe. I think Rob is on the outs. When we got back to the beach, he was clearly upset about being blindsided, not even let into the plan. But I really think that there's a power alliance brewing somewhere around Trevor, Laura, Audrey.
Rob kept on saying to me, he was like, Audrey, you've made some big moves now. You know, you're still kind of under the radar, but, you know, you need shields. I mean, honestly, brilliant on Rob's part. He knew exactly where my insecurities in this game lie, and he, you know, poked those buttons correctly. Made an excellent point.
I see one of 2 options for my vote tomorrow. The safe option is a Jenny and Julie split again. However, it would be of interest to me and others to break up the marriage. Julie reached out to me. She's chatting with Levi about it, potentially taking out Trevor. It seems abundantly clear to me that Laura will not continue to vote in the way that Audrey and Laura and I talk if she has Trevor pulling her towards other directions. We'll see how it plays out. It'll probably be a game time decision tomorrow, but hopefully it's not me. We'll see.
So last night the Jeffs dropped that tonight we will most likely be voting off 2 people.
A double elimination. We don't know what that looks like, but everyone is scrambling as if that's the case. Trying to make a first vote secure and then more of a contingency plan for the second vote.
It depends on how this is going to be. If it's going to be like one after the other, maybe I'll be safe. If it's going to be 1 round and 2 people leave, or let alone 1 round, everyone gets 2 votes and 2 people leave, like that could be chaos. And what if you could vote for the same person twice? Like there's way too many variables here.
So far, after the Krista aftermath, it seems like we've convinced everyone that it was Julie's idea to vote off Krista, which is good for us because it means that Julie is the easy target. Hoping to keep it that way.
The challenge made it quite clear. Me and Ginny are still at the bottom. We were the first two out on that challenge.
You know, I've never really talked to Levi before today, and I got a sense that he was connected to Rob, and you know how I feel about Rob, so not great. You know, if Rob has another ally in the game, then that means an enemy for me.
The way that I see the alliances, it's 3, 2, and 3. You've got Rob, Phil, and I, hopefully. That's how I saw things the first time. That didn't work out. You have Rob, Phil, and I. You have Julie and Ginny, and you have Audrey, Laura, Trevor.
Phil is still really adamant about getting out Ginny because of her idol, which I guess I understand from Phil's perspective that you want to get the person out who has the idol. However, I'm working with Ginny. I like knowing where that other idol is, considering I have the other one, so I like knowing where both idols are. It makes me feel pretty good, honestly.
My goal tonight is to pitch the fact that there's speculation as to whether Jenny has an idol. We know she has the idol. She told us that she has the idol. I'm hoping we can convince her to play the idol the first round, get Julie out, and then make everyone else think that we're voting Jenny out the next round since she's going to have played her idol, and then actually get out someone else.
Laura comes off as, a nice, cheery, innocent person, but there's more hiding behind that. There's the level of deceit and aggressiveness that warrants a strong survivor player and a threat in the game. So we may have to strike and break up that couple. It seems there's a little too much power there, in my opinion.
So yeah, for that second vote off, that's where I think we originally talked the newbies about getting out Rob, since he would handle a blindside the best. But after, a night of sleep, I'm now kind of thinking the opposite, that he would handle the second blindside the best, so that's why we should keep him in.
I'm hoping if Jenny plays her idol, I know that Audrey has the other idol, and Trevor has an advantage where he can get out of the vote and not vote. So if I get the idol once Jenny's is up, then the three of us have a really good chance of getting into the top 5. The fact that I know this information, Trevor doesn't know about Audrey's. Audrey doesn't know about Trevor's. I feel like I'm in a good spot.
Ginny and Trevor still don't know that I have the idol. They're really freaking out that one of the other 3 has it. I'm not going to tell them. I hope Laura doesn't tell them. I know it would make a lot of the planning a lot easier, but I don't care. I'm not telling.
I had immunity last time. I have a target on my back. I'm ex-Goda. I'm Laura's +1. I was a part of the whole Krista caper. Of course, there's a lot of reasons to get me out. So we told Audrey to float the idea.
So Trevor wanted me to throw their name out there, which, okay. Levi and Rob, they both were like, I don't hate the idea.
Rob and Phil, and I think by extension Levi, because he's in the mix with them too, just really ate it up. That was before we figured out that this was going to be a double elimination challenge.
Julie is spearheading a movement for Trevor that would not include telling Laura or Ginny, or Trevor, obviously. I think that would make a 5-3 vote. It would break up a lot of connective tissue. I would totally be on board with that. I think that at that point, nobody would have any one secure block.
Julie has been out of contact with us. She has, I think, been working with Rob, but we can't count on her again like we did during the whole, Krista affair. So I don't know how her vote's gonna play out, and I can't help but feel like she also wanted me to get out.
It's like an hour before tribal. I have the worst headache. I guess I should be honored that everybody wants to talk to me. It still doesn't ease my paranoia, let me tell you.
Trevor. I trusted you the first strike. You voted for me when me, you, and Eric had a deal to vote out Jenny. You got two of my closest allies, granted one of them is your wife, so that's, to vote for a different plan. Strike number 2. Strike number 3, you took out my girlfriend's little sister. Last time I counted, 3 strikes. You're out.
Birdfax Tribe, welcome back to Tribal Council. We will now welcome in the members of our jury. Claire, Sammy, Eric, Ashley, and Krista voted out at the last Tribal Council. Jury making a bit of an entrance here today. So pretty dramatic vote last time that I think left a lot of people confused. Dare I say it was a blindside. So let me just start with an open question. Who did not see the last vote going the way that it went?
Me.
All right, so we've got Levi, we've got Rob, and we've got Phil. Phil, I'm going to start with you. What happened? What was your understanding of the plan?
It's a great question, Jeff. You ask spectacular questions. I thought the plan was to do something different.
What was that, Phil?
Well, I voted for Jenny, so obviously I thought she was part of the plan.
Okay, so I will do that hard part for the rest of you. To recap, Krista ends up with 5 votes, Jenny ends up with 2, Julie ends up with 1. Rob, I'm hoping you'll be a little less cautious about talking about what went down. What was the plan, and what was your reaction to not being involved in the plan that ultimately ended up happening?
It comes down to the tribal before that. Julie had given me her word that she was going to vote against Ashley. She didn't. She voted against me. So that told me right there that someone that I can't trust. And, with that, might as well get out of the game right now. Krista, bless her, but she flew too close to the sun. And people got wise to, the connections that she was making, some of the double speak. I heard that she made a comment about Jenny being in her pocket, and that rubbed people the wrong way. So they decided to make a big move at the merge. And I got to say, I love the big move at the merge. So I have to respect it. Tonight, the vote should be something where we can all get back on the same page, I'm hoping.
Levi, you come back from Redemption Island. You're not voting. You have no say in how this vote's going to go. You also don't have necessarily the most up-to-date understanding of what the tribal dynamics are. What was the learning curve for you over the last few days after watching your former Bacall member get blindsided?
Right. We can just start with the shock of it, that having no info coming off of Redemption Island, I thought that they might be excited to see a Bacall member come back. Out of the OG, Bacall was the only one available as a choice. And even after that, they decided to break up the band. That was really weird to see. Lines aren't drawn in stone, they're drawn in sand, and they're changing by the minute.
All right, Jenny, I'm coming to you because I feel like there's some stuff to unpack here. You received 2 votes at Tribal Council. You were one of the early people eliminated from the Sabotage Challenge, which is a very social challenge by design. Where do you stand among this group of people right now?
Well, I think that challenge really, spoke for itself. I was the person knocked out of the challenge, and, by a landslide. I was out within, the first, 3 minutes of the challenge, and I was like, okay, well, this does not bode well for, my standing in the game. As for, the last tribal, there was a plan. I won't say what it was, but I was told that there was a plan. I realized I couldn't trust Krista because she had lied to me during the Eric vote. So that's kind of why I decided to write her name down.
I mean, break this down for me, because these kinds of votes don't just happen, and I need someone to kind of explain this, and I'm going to count on you, Jenny, or one of the other 4 people who pulled off this vote. And just to be perfectly abundantly clear here, the people who are watching this don't know the ins and outs of how this goes, but also neither does the jury necessarily. Like, this was a very big move, and you have a chance to claim credit for really steering this vote in a big new way. So I'm going to leave this open for whoever wants to take it here. Audrey, is that a...
Fine, Jeff.
Give me some info here. Give me some intel.
Okay, so it was definitely a very last minute thing. It was just, we were kind of feeling uneasy that Krista was starting to run the game. And if you let someone continue to run the game, you are going to lose. It's simple as that. She is really good at this game. Like, so good at this game. Like, I'm not just trying to kiss up to Krista right now. She really is. Like, oh my gosh, she tells us like how high to jump and we immediately did it.
Laura, you alluded to this during the challenge, so I know it's not a secret within the game, and it shouldn't be a secret in Tribal. You and Trevor are married. You both have managed to survive a very long time in the game. Do you think the two of you together are starting to become a little bit too much of a threat to fly under the radar anymore?
Oh, I mean, yeah. I mean, I do and I don't, Jeff, because we're both newbies, but I get it. We are 2 people, and being husband and wife, it is, very hard to separate votes. That being said, it's not impossible to separate votes. And I hope that most of the people here know that, and my allies realize that I am their ally. I think that we definitely are seen as a threat. Yes.
Okay, so Laura, you have immunity. Trevor, you don't. You had immunity last time. I think it's fair to say the fans are kind of running the show right now. There's 5 fans still in the game, only 3 favorites. Trevor, I mean, do you feel like you're in control here, or do you feel vulnerable, or both?
Well, to level with you, Jeff, I never really felt like I was in control. Not that, and certainly not now.
Really?
It wasn't, yeah, I don't think it was really my call. I think I probably helped that quick decision process, and, emotions, certainly I let my emotions get the better of me, I think.
How so?
Well, whenever you make a decision that quick very soon to Tribal, like, you don't give yourself the time to think about it. So I feel like if I had really, stopped to think about it, would I have done that to Krista? I don't know. I was also spoken of that I was in her pocket too, which I didn't like, but again, emotions. Today though, I feel like I am completely at everyone's mercy.
Who here felt like the perception was that they were in Krista's pocket when Krista was still in the game? 5 of the 7 people here felt like, wow, okay. Rob, in your first answer, you said we still got to stay the call strong. How can you possibly stay the call strong after a move like that? Clearly, this tribe doesn't function that way anymore.
Well, you say that, but there's a lot of game left. And, even with one move like that, I can't throw away the goodwill that we've built up in the early stages of this game. If I do that, I abandon everything. And you've got to have enough strength, and you've got to have a tight enough bond where something can happen like that and you can talk about it and move forward together. I have the faith that we're able to do that. So, when it comes to working with Julie or working with Jenny, quite frankly, I haven't talked to them as much. I don't have that. So I've got to lean on my strengths. And if it's not the case, I very well could be going home tonight, Jeff.
Jenny, you looked like you had something you wanted to say in response to that. Yes, of course.
It is true that Rob and I have not really spoke much, but Rob, I know that you were kind of blindsided at the last vote, but the prior plan that I spoke of, like, you would have been even more blindsided, because I don't know if you were aware of this, but people, part of your alliance, were gunning for you.
Who?
Phil and Krista.
Phil.
No, it's
Really?
true. Like, if you want, I can show you the messages, but initially there was a call. And Krista told me that the plan was to split the vote between Julie and me. And then,
Phil, is this true?
wow, Phil didn't tell you? I thought he was your ally.
Send me the DM. Yeah, send it over. I got Discord
Sure.
up. Phil, what's going on?
There's some truth to it. The story that you were telling about the idol wasn't quite adding up. So there was a lot of thought towards possibly you having an idol.
So you're going to whack me? Is that how it goes?
Well, there was possible plans. I think there's been possible plans for just about everybody in this game. And, if you take that too seriously, there's a lot of people in on that plan. There's been a lot of people in on a lot of plans.
Phil, you looked me in the eye. You swore on your wife and baby daughter, and you said, I will take
I couldn't see you in the eye. I don't have a baby daughter. And I didn't say anything. So we get life.
All right. Well, the plan for tonight is off. I'm going to let you know that right now. How can I trust you? Plan's off.
Plans off. Okay. So Rob, are you having second thoughts about going down with the sinking Bacall ship, as it were, right now?
I can do my own game. I'm used to being a lone wolf. I was all of last season. I've never been in Krista's pocket, by the way. I played all of last season without her, and I've played last season without Phil, and I can do it again.
Does anyone here want to claim credit for how that vote went? There's always someone who says it first. Is anyone willing to take stake in that claim? No.
So I was clearly not part of the vote, and so I have no insight into this, but there is a distinct possibility that one person missing here would have been the person to claim the vote. So
this is true. We are missing Julie, and hopefully Julie hops on shortly because we are getting close to the vote. So let's spin this forward here. Laura has immunity. There are idols floating out there. There are still advantages floating out there. There's a twist coming tonight that none of y'all are really 100% sure how it's going to work. Audrey, what is on your mind as you all get ready to cast votes tonight as it pertains to all of these question marks that this tribe clearly still has to answer, as we welcome Julie in from her car. Hello, Julie. Can you hear us?
Hello, I can.
To me, it's all about rebuilding loyalty. That's what my goal is for tonight.
Trevor, why shouldn't this tribe vote you out, considering your position in the game right now?
I know the perception is that, like, I'm with Laura, and that we're some sort of a voting block or something like that. But if that's the case, I don't know why everyone's in it to break us apart and not work with us. I mean, if you're trying to make a majority out of some votes, honestly, like, if we're the block that you think we are, then why split us up? Work with us.
An interesting pitch before we get to what is sure to be an interesting vote. It is time to vote. When I call your name, you will direct message me the name of the person you want voted out of this tribe. Levi, you're up first.
Jeff?
Yes, Trevor. Hold your vote, Levi. Hold your vote. Yes, Trevor?
I think you're right that there are some, there is a considerable target on my back, and I think I got a cash in my head now. So that's going to be safety without power.
Okay, Trevor is deciding to use the auction item that he won at the beginning of the game, safety without power. Here's how this is going to work. I'm going to have Trevor go into a breakout room. He will not vote. He will not be present for this vote, and you cannot vote for Trevor. Levi, you're up. All right. I'll tally the votes. If anyone has a hidden immunity idol and you would like to play it, now would be the time to do so. Okay, once the votes are read, the decision is final. The person voted out will be asked to turn off their camera and extinguish their torch. I'll read the votes. First vote. Julie. Jenny. That's 1 vote Julie, 1 vote Jenny. Julie. That's 2 votes Julie, 1 vote Jenny. We're tied. That's 2 votes Jenny, 2 votes Julie. Julie. That's 3 votes Julie, 2 votes Jenny, 2 votes left. We're tied again. That's 3 votes Jenny, 3 votes Julie, 1 vote left. The 6th person voted out of Survivor Fans versus Favorites and the 6th member of our jury, Julie. That's enough. You need to turn off your camera and extinguish your torch. Julie, the tribe has spoken. Tough vote, close vote. Was it the right vote? We'll find out shortly.